Hello and good morning. Let's take a look here. What we have is an EOC question, and I want you to find the area. So on this one right here, since it's straight up and down, you just count. One box, two, three, this is four. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this appears to be a right angle. It has to be a right angle to do what we're about ready to do, which is area. So area equals 1/2 the base times the height. Question is, how do we know for sure if that is a right angle? So that is the thought question for today. How do we know that AB is perpendicular to BC? Write down a little sentence on that right now. Okay, well, the formula for area of a triangle, and you need to memorize this, is base times height, and it doesn't matter which one you put first, divided by 2. So that's going to be 20 divided by 2, so that's going to be 10 square boxes or 10 square inches or feet. On this one right here, to do trig, what did you have to know, or how do you memorize the formulas for trig? Okay, so yeah, so, ka, toa. So let's write that down right now. So, ka, toa. And before I go any further, don't forget you have performance matters, and it's due March 21st, no later. Make sure you hit submit when you're finished, but definitely on the 21st. So make a mark of that, okay? If you email me and say you didn't do it, I'm sorry, I can't open it again, and that's the way it is. So look here. On this one right here, I want you to put a dot where you're standing, which is right here by the angle. This would be opposite. This would be adjacent. So we're looking for the angle, so that's the tangent of angle X is equal to opposite over adjacent. We want to get X by itself, so we're going to divide by the word tangent, and that changes to something called the arc tangent. So get your calculator. 7 divided by 9, press equals, hit shift, and then tangent. So that is a 37.9 degree angle. And that's how you do it. Let's take a look at one more. You're standing right here at this angle. This is opposite, but this is the hypotenuse. So that would be the sine. So that's the sine of 10 degrees is equal to the opposite on top of the hypotenuse. The last one always goes on the bottom. So it's x over 8. And all you do is multiply by 8. So get your calculator. Let's do this one. So we're going to press 10, and then sine, and then times 8. So I'm going to say 1.3. Let me just double check. 10 sine times 8. Okay, yep, 1.4 is what we're going to say. 1.4 inches, and we're done. And that's all we're doing. So today you have a worksheet. If you need help, I want you to ask your neighbor and then get back to work, okay? I don't want a lot of talking other than working. Now remember, this is a Greek letter theta right here on your worksheet, so you can change that to x, okay? And then you work all of these here, and then you switch it up on the back side. If you need help, ask questions, and good luck on this. I tried to put the answers next to the problem so you know you're doing it right. Let's turn our attention now to MCR. For MCR class, we have a problem here, and I want you to do it two ways. I want you to factor and use the quadratic equation. So there's nothing I can factor out, but 3 times 2 is 6. I'm looking for a combination that's going to give me 7. 2 pluses is going to yield 2 pluses, so I'm going to add. It's going to be this one. So in place of that 7, I'm going to substitute this. So I'm going to have 3x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 2. I'm going to factor out an x here. I'm going to factor out nothing. You can't factor anything out of that one. So we'll factor a 1 out just to have something there. We're going to take this out, and we're left with 3x plus 2 and x plus 1. Now that you have this, we're going to set it equal to 0. So 3x plus 2 and x plus 1. So this is going to be a negative 2 and then divided by 3. That's one answer. This one is going to be a negative 1. So when we use the quadratic equation, we should get the same answers. So A, B, and C. So it's going to be negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C, all divided by 2 times A. Okay? So it's going to be negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 49 minus 6 times 4 is 24 divided by 6. Let's simplify this right here. So 49 minus 24, press equals, hit shift, square root. I get 5 on that. Okay? So I'm going to end up with a 5. So it's going to be a negative 7 plus 5 divided by 6 and a negative 7 minus 5 divided by 6. So this becomes a negative 2 over 6, which reduces to, let's see what we have here, negative 2 over 6 reduces to 1/3, and I have 2/3 here. So we're going to have to go back and check this. This right here is a negative 12 divided by 6, which is a negative 2. So I'm not getting the same thing, so let me just double check my work. A, B, C, negative B, plus or minus the square root of B squared, 7 squared, minus 4 times A times C. That's 6 times 4 is 24. Just double check that. 49 minus 24 equals 25. So that does give me 5. Well, we should end up with the same thing, and we're going to have to find out why. But this is what I want you to do on today's work. I want you to factor and then do the quadratic equation. We'll work one in class to see what's going on with this. Have a good morning.